Evening everyone, welcome back to my channel. Tonight I thought we'd do a colouring page together in Rita Berman's My Spring Walk. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. And this is the page that I thought we'd do together, a nice and simple one for my first colour along with you. And I want to use the 120 set of ARTEZA'S. So I've picked out a selection of colours. I have them all laid out here. I'm going to put little cards on the page so that you can see which colour I've selected that I'm using at the time. So let's get started. I'm going to move you in and we get a little bit closer. So I thought we'll start. I'm going to do all the leaves in the same shade. And I thought we'd start with these ones here. So let me get the cards out. Here. So I'm going to start with my darkest one, which is moss green. Can you see that? Yeah, 029. And at the base, I'm just going to put a small bit of the dark. And then a little bit of a fade out there. Okay, so the next colour is pear green, which is this one. And I'm going to go back over this where I've done that light part and blend that in together. And then come back up lightly. And then the next colour that I've chosen is fluorescent yellow. Now that sounds odd, but it's a really good mix, I think anyway. So here's my card, fluorescent yellow 126. And then I'm going to colour in the tip and go back over the whole thing so it blends out. And then you see all those going back to the moss green, going back to the moss green 129, and I'm just going to go back over that and deepen that up again, just lightly. And go back to the pear green and go over that. And then go back to the fluorescent yellow. So I'm going to do them all in the same colours, but the style might vary a little bit. So these bigger ones, let me move the Arteza box. These bigger ones here, I'm going to turn the page around just so I can get to it. I'm going to start with the moss green. Find the card. I'll pick it up. I'm going to start with the moss green. Where are we? Here. Move you down. And I'm going to go lightly up the centre. And then I'm going to get lighter as I go out towards the edge. So the pear green comes back in. And then, oops, chucking them about. And then back to fluorescent yellow. Again, go over the whole thing. Back in with the moss green. A little bit of leaf down here too. Pear green. Trying really not hard not to block your view. Fluorescent yellow. Oh, wrong one. Fluorescent yellow. And then blend that. That's not part of the leaf, I'll have to rub that out. And I'm going to go back over the whole thing to deepen up those shades. So back in with the moss green. Back in with the pear green. And then swap back to the fluorescent yellow. Okay, let's move those off for a minute. Let's turn the page rack round. Make sure you're in the screen. So, what's next? What can I do now? So I'm going to do them all in the same colours, just to keep the page cohesive. Those ones will be done the same, so I'll do this one for you now. So again, the same colours. Let's just move them over. Can you see? Yeah, so I'm going to do moss green at the base, and I'm going to go straight over that little design there. And then lightly bring it up. Leave those cards now, I think you get the idea. Pear green. I'm coming further up on this one, so it just leaves the tip for the fluorescent yellow. And then fluorescent yellow. Okay, we go back in, deepen it up. Oh. Get excited every time my computer or my phone buzzes at me. If there's a new subscriber or I've had a message from someone, I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Okay, then back over. Just brightens it up. Now, we zoom back out again. Sorry, wrong way. There we go. Got a bit of a smudge going on there. Get rid of that. Okay, so I'm going to do the whole page the same. Sorry, I'll start again. I'm going to do all the leaves the same with the same colours in the different styles that I've just shown you, and then I'll come back and we'll re-meet when they're complete and we'll start on the flowers. Okay guys, I'm back. So that's all the leaves done. So I'm going to bring you in closer and then we're going to start on the flowers. Here we are. Let's just centre it. That's it. Okay, so I've chosen 3 colours again to do a gradient with. I've chosen Midnight Blue to start with, 144, Mykonos Blue 104 and Sky Blue 056. So as usual with me, I'm going to start with the dark and blend out into the light, and I want the tips of the leaves to be light, so that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, okay, so I'm going to go right over these, and at the end I can use some Posca or something else to put that colour back in there. I'm just doing it lightly, the same as I did with the leaves, and just feather it out for my next colour to go over. There we are. And I'm going to use Mykonos Blue, and I'm going to go back over come down towards the tip and then really lighten up. Okay, and the last colour that I'm going to bring in excuse me, is Sky Blue. There you go. I'm going to go back over the light one. Make sure the tip's filled in. Okay, and then we'll repeat. I'm going to go back to my dark and fill that in. Which is Midnight Blue. And switch it up to Mykonos Blue. It's a beautiful colour, this one. And then back into Sky Blue. There. My lighting's not very good. I can promise you that these leaves are green. They do look a little bit sort of more olivey, but they are. Okay, let's do the next petal. Can you see? My fingers aren't in the way. There we are. And then the Mykonos blue. I think these ARTEZA pencils have a really good selection of colour. However, what I do find is that there's a limited red palette, and it's lacking in, I think, in my opinion, lacking in very light blues. This is the lightest blue in the selection. So I think that if I had to pick a criticism, that's what I would say. But other than that, I think they're fantastic. I love these little books by Rita Berman. They're you can go from one extreme to the other with them. She's either got pages which you can just pick up and do a little section at a time, or you've got the really highly detailed pages, which is really nice because it will go with a mood change for how you're feeling about colouring at any one point. So it has pages in the book for sort of every mood that you're feeling. So that's really nice. It makes a change. Okay, let's finish it off. Can you still see I'm not in your way? So can you tell me in the comments below, leave me a comment and let me know how long you've been colouring, what's your favourite coloured pencils, and if there's any colouring books in particular that we could do together you would enjoy. I'm not by any means at the standard of some people on YouTube, that's for sure, but it would be nice for us to be able to build a subscriber base and learn together, and I would be more than open to any tips or suggestions that anybody's got to help with that. So there we are. I hope you can see the blend, how beautiful these blend together. Okay, that was Midnight Blue. Back to Mykonos. I love this colour, it's so beautiful. Back over the whole thing. And then in with Sky Blue. Just going to go back over it all. There. Okay. Now, as of yet, I've got a little bit there. I haven't decided what to put in the centres yet. but I have decided that the flower buds up there as well, and the rest of these flowers that are the same are going to be in this style. So what I'm going to do is go back off camera again, colour those all in, and I'll meet you back when I finish that. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I finished all the blue petals and the little buds, as I talked about, and I'm now going to go in and colouring these clovers. So I'm sticking with the ARTEZA'S, and I'm going to start with watermelon pink, and I'm going to bring you in so you can see some more detail. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start just at the very base with a small bit of the watermelon pink. These are quite tiny spaces, so they don't need an awful lot of colour. But having looked up clover flowers on Google, they do have this pinky tinge at the base. So there's my watermelon. Then I'm just going to go over that with pink macaroon. I don't want to bring it up too high, but I do want there to be that hint of pink there. And then over that, jasmine yellow, which is a really beautiful colour. And then leaving the very tips I'm then just going to do a blend over everything with the cream. And I think that mixes well and gives the impression of a clover flower. Should we do another one together? You know, when I watched, let's get rid of those now. Before I became a YouTube creator, and I watched videos, I had no idea how much work went into the filming, the editing, uploading, choosing your words for the descriptions. And although I am really enjoying it, I just never had any idea the work that went into producing these videos. And it's a huge amount. And it's a big learning curve for me because I've never done anything like this before, and I've had to learn about editing suites and using my phone. As you'll know from my first video, if you've caught it, I didn't even realise that I had to set my phone at 16.9 to get it to fill the screen. My first video is just a split screen with a tiny centre. So I now have a newfound appreciation for all the videos that I've been watching and the work that's gone into them. Right, there's one more tiny clover down here. So let's do that together. So watermelon. Just checking you can see. Watermelon. And then pink macaroon. That just helps it to fade a little better into the jasmine. And then the jasmine yellow. And it wasn't until I started to put together the first 2 clips of this that I realised I have a minuscule chip on my fingernail, and it looks like half the fingernail paint has come off when you're this close up. Okay, so there's the clovers. Let me come back out. If I get used to using this camera at some point, and it will do as it's told. There we go. So that's our clovers done, our blue flowers done, our leaves. Let me know, guys, in the comments below if you like it done like this, or if you'd prefer to see the whole process, or if it's easier for you just to watch how each one is done and then me come back when I've completed that section. So just as a quick one now, I'm going to move on to the little berries, and let me get the little cards out. Tell me if the cards help as well. I'm going to use crimson red and a little bit of vermilion. So I'm going to bring you back down again and we'll get started. Yay, did it the right way this time. So where are we? Here we are, there's the first one. So I'm going to go round the edge. I've got the shakes again. Go round the edge and slowly fill in. And I'm going to leave a small white section. And then I'm going to go over with the vermilion. Just to brighten it up a little bit. And then I'll put, just come back in and deepen up this edge here. Now if I don't like that at the end when I've finished, I might colour that little circle I've left to represent a little bit of light, and go in with some white gel pen on the line that Rita's given us to represent light, sorry. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go back in with the vermilion and cover that over. And then we're going to go in with some white gel pen at the end. Okay, let's find the other ones for you. There's 2 more here. Okay, let's do the same again, round the edge with the, gosh. I'll get the eraser on that. Crimson. Put that there. Hopefully I haven't confused everyone. With the crimson. And come back round with the vermilion. Oh, sorry guys, these cards are a pain in the butt. Let me put that there, so I don't have to keep fiddling. There, okay. Go back round with the vermilion. Brush that off, that's crumbled quite a bit. There. And then deepen that up with the crimson. going to erase that. Oh, I didn't want to do that. That's... Oh, battery's going. One of my pencils fallen on the floor. I didn't want to do that. Let's hope that sharpens. Okay. Now that pencil that just fell on the floor is wine red. And I think I'm just going to add a little bit more depth on both of these, just around the base. Oh, this pencil, that's because I dropped it. There we are. I don't know how obvious that is, that I've added that in. There we are. Okay, so let's do it again on the last one, hopefully without throwing pencils all over the floor. Arms in front of you so you can't see what I'm doing. Right, crimson red. Let's see if we can do this without messing it up. It's nerves. I get really nervous. And when I start to make stupid mistakes, can't talk properly. Excuse me. Okay. And lastly, go back in with a little bit of wine red. Okay. There they are. Okay, that's our berries. Right. I'm gonna put some of these pencils away before I throw them everywhere again, and I will catch back up with you and we'll fill in the stems of these flowers and the little buds. See you in a second. Right, that's that done. Let's go in and fill these stems in, and all these stems and the bases of the buds together. So I'm going to zoom you in and see if I can get it right this time. Yay! Okay, I want to go up to these buds here, and we're going to go back to our original 3 colours of moss green. I'm just going to give it a bit of a sharpen because these are quite small spaces to get into. And here on the base, I'm going to do the same as the leaves. I'm going to come up one side. Yeah, you can see. I'm going to fill this in moss green. I'm going to leave a bit of a fade to blend into. And then I'm going to come down, I don't want to be blocking your view. I'm going to come down one edge. Just lightly with the moss green. And then back in with the pear green, and we're going to go back over that and fill this in. And then the same part too, I'm going to go back over the moss green and fill that edge in. There. Excuse me. And then back in with the fluorescent yellow to blend out. And back down the stem here. Okay, let's do another one while I'm here. It saves on the editing. Okay, all right, let's fill this base in. Bit of a blend area. Got to come down this side. Fill that in. Right, now this time, because they're crossing over, I'm not going to add so much light in, so I'm just going to go in with the, I think it is pear, yeah, pear. I've used it enough now, I should know. Because they'd be in more shadow, they won't need that fluorescent yellow. So we'll put the pear over this. Come up a little bit further. And fluorescent yellow at the tip. Okay, let's do the next one. Oh, sorry, I'm still getting used to which way to go, and it's all opposite to what you expect it to be. So let's come down here. See, it's so tiny, these little spaces. I'm going to keep that quite deep because it's right down the bottom there. Okay, let's switch to our pear. We'll do this bit here. It's such a lovely combination, these colours. And I'm not sure that my dreadful lighting in this room is giving you a true picture of what they actually look like. But if you're at all unsure, get a scrap piece of paper and just test the combination out for yourself to make sure that it's something that you would want to use before you go ahead. That's if you're going to follow me along, or if you're just watching out of interest. So we're going to go in darker here because that's where they're crossed over. So it'll be a little darker there. And then up this side. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, we're out of shot. There we are. I've spent every bit of this video checking that you were in shot. And there I go, rambling on and you can't even see. Okay. Yep. Okay. And a tiny bit of fluorescent yellow. Okay. That is our buds done. Now we've got another one over here. Going to be really carefully, make sure I keep you in shot. Okay, and we're going to do the same. We're going to go up the edge, fill it in, get our pear, blend that in. And blend out with the fluorescent yellow. Okay, now these tiny pieces here, I'm probably just going to use the moss green. So they're just such tiny spaces. We might be able to get the pear to go over the top if necessary, but it might be quite nice just to have the one colour in that tiny space, the deepest of the colours. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think I quite like that. So have we got any of those others? Yeah, there's a little bit down here, look, by the clover. And get my tripod out of the way. Up here on this clover. Okay, So I'm going to zoom out. Oh, wrong way again. Okay, there we are. So we've finished all the foliage. And what's left? Oh no, we haven't. I'll go back in and do that off camera so you don't have to be bored to tears while I do fill that in. The same as we've done the others. Then we're going to come back in and do the butterfly together. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so now I have finally finished all the little foliage pieces. I think it's coming together really well. I'm liking the colours together, and yeah, we're ready to move on. So let's get started with our butterfly. I'm going to move you in so you can see better. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be using these colours in this order. So I've got crimson, vermilion, pumpkin, marmalade, jasmine and cream. And I'll bring the cards back in for you to see, because it might get a little confusing. So we're going to start with our crimson red, and I might go back at the end and use wine just to deepen it up. It depends on how it comes out. So let's put the crimson red there, 078, and we're going to start in this lower corner and build our way up. So we've got quite a few colours to bring into this butterfly wing. So I just want to give myself a bit of a guideline before I go in. There we are. Deepen that up a bit. Right. I'll give me my light blend line. There we are. Okay, so that's our crimson red. And we're going to go over that with vermilion. Now, they're all beautiful colours, these. Okay. So I'm going to come back down the area that I left light. Fill that in. And I'm going to come up a bit further. Okay. I will be going back over this. This is just a light first layer. Then I'm going to use marmalade. Let's check that is marmalade. No, sorry, it's not marmalade. I'm going to use pumpkin orange. Got the cards in the wrong order. Pumpkin orange. And we're going to go over that. Okay, a light line. Okay, pumpkin orange. And then we're going to add the marmalade. Now this is a much lighter orange, and it's going to help us to blend into our final paler shades. That's all I'm going to add for that, just to give us a bit of a introductory colour. And then we're going to go back again with the jasmine yellow as we used in the clovers. Okay. And I'm going to do it all again. So I'm going to start at the bottom with crimson red. And we're going to fill those white spaces in and deepen up our colours. There we go. Okay, so that's crimson red. Then we're going to go back to our vermilion. And same again, go back over, overlap from the crimson red. Fill in our white spaces. Okay, that's our vermilion. Then we're going to add our pumpkin orange. Make sure I picked up the right one. Yep, there we go, pumpkin orange. Just check you can see. I'm going to go back over that. There we are. Okay. Then we're going to, what do we go to? Marmalade. Marmalade. Just checking I've got the right one. And again, I'm going to go back over everything. You should begin to see those colours blend together. There we are. And then we're going to get our jasmine and go back over the tip. And back over all of that. Let's give it a brush. Okay, now just to finish it off and to blend it a little bit more, I'm just going to add a bit of cream. I don't want to dilute the colours too much with white, but I do want them to blend a bit better. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay. There we have one butterfly wing. Okay. There. Yeah. I like that, it's quite good. I might just help that blending along with some really light strokes of the first colour, crimson red. Deepen it up a little bit here. And then I'm going to go back in with the mid-tone, which was the pumpkin, and come up here and help that along. There we are. And then jasmine yellow. There we go. Okay, yeah, happy with that. Okay, so the outside of the wings, I'm still going to use the, let me see, what did I, I'm still going to use the jasmine yellow, and I'm going to bring in burnt umber and burnt ochre. No, just burnt ochre and jasmine. Let's see, burnt ochre. Okay, so I'm going to go around the edge but leave some spaces to put the yellow in. So I'm just lightly, and I'm going to do his body like this too. I'm going to come up to about there, deepen it up down there, and from the top I'm going to come down okay, and then the same round here. So I'm going to come round here, leave a bit of space, and the same there. Just to incorporate the colours we've already used, so the jasmine for blending this one in. Okay, and then it won't just be such a flat colour. Just going to give it a bit of a sharpen. Okay, and then I'm going to go over as usual and bring that down. And the same on the wings. On the wings, on the outside. Okay. Now I want to bring the burnt ochre back in. Come in a little bit more. Because I just want peaks of colour, peaks of that jasmine. I don't want it being overly obvious there, but just a little bit of a lighter shade. So there we are. And then get the jasmine again. Where is my jasmine card? Excuse my arm. Jasmine. And then I'm going to go back over one final time. I think those colours work really well together. Okay, so that's how the butterfly wings are going to be done. And the body of the butterfly, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to add in burnt umber. I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. Okay. So, where are you? There we are. So quite simply on the body, I'm going to follow Rita's segments. And I'm going to bring that down very carefully because it's quite dark and I don't want to overpower it. I just want those segments to be visible, not lost. Okay, so that was burnt umber. This is burnt ochre. I'm going to come down with it. And then our jasmine yellow. There we go. Back over with the burnt ochre. And the yellow again. So we're going to do that all the way down his little body. So I'm going to give him a little bit of the burnt umber. There we are. And then burnt ochre. There we are. And jasmine yellow. Wow. Let's keep going. Burnt umber. Burnt ochre. Jasmine yellow. Okay. Burnt umber. Burnt ochre. And jasmine yellow. Okay, now for this top bit we're going to do the same, but reverse. Up in reverse. So we're going to go from this dark bit here. Oh, it's not really reverse, it's just, yeah. Okay, jasmine yellow. Back in a little bit with that burnt umber. There we are. Yeah, I like that. I think that's looking good. Okay, now around his little eyes, I'm going to deepen up that tiny little bit to emphasise his eyes, or her eyes. And then let's give this a sharpening because these bits really are tiny. I'm going to burnt ochre. We are. And then on his actual little eyes, we're going to use the jasmine. Oops, pencil's crumbled. And up here, jasmine there too. Okay, there we are. And that's our little butterfly completed. So I'm going to finish that off, and his true Lucy Just Adds colour style. I'll be back with you when that's finished. See you in a minute. Okay, so the page is really coming together now. We're nearly there. We've got this lovely little feather to finish off, and then I've been thinking about these little, my interpretation is that I'm going to do them the same as the berries. Again, to use the same colours that we've used because I don't want it to be too busy. So let's have a go at filling this feather in together. Okay, so I'm going to bring you in. And then there we go. Okay, so I thought for the centre of this feather and coming up here, we'd use wine red and the burnt umber to give it some definition. So let's start with wine red, 140, and let's go up its centre. again, all colours that we've used before in the page. So there we are, a wine red. And then I'm just going to go over that with burnt umber. Sorry if I'm pausing, I'm just checking that you can still see. Okay. We can always go back in and deepen that up, I think. Oops. That's my fault, I pressed too hard on it. Okay. And I'm gonna I'm gonna do the same coming up here. So a bit of the wine red. Yeah. And then the burnt ochre. Yeah, just checking I've got the right one. Burnt ochre. And blend those in together. Okay, and a little bit more of that wine to soften that up. There we go. Back in with the burnt umber. Burnt ochre. Gosh. And the same for this little piece here. Light and touch. I am really heavy-handed, and it's taking a long time to learn that you don't need to be. And the more I relax, the easier I find actually that it is to colour. The heavier-handed that I am, the harder it is. And then we'll do the same coming up here. Yeah, let's try that. Just rub that a little bit out. Gone over the line there. Okay. Burnt umber. Ochre. Gosh, I've got the card in front of me and I still can't get it right. Okay. There. Now I want to mirror the butterfly with the feather. So I'm going to use, let's get rid of those. I'm going to use the vermilion, and that should help us to bring out and away. Again, I'm going to go over these little circles, but we'll fill that in with some Posca later. So that should help. I don't know what I'm saying, I've lost my train of thought. Okay, vermilion, pumpkin orange, can you see? Yes. Pumpkin orange. Get up to that edge. And sorry, that was not pumpkin orange, that was vermilion. I'm really sorry about that. vermilion, and the first one I used was crimson red. That's why I've got confused. There it is. Sorry. There we go. Yeah. So this one was the crimson red here. And the next one that I used is vermilion. I'm getting tired. I'm sorry. Mixing up all the colours. I don't want to use so many in this. So many colours as the butterfly in this one, but and then pumpkin orange. Just make sure I tell you right. Pumpkin orange. Pumpkin orange, and then marmalade. You still see? Yeah. Okay, going back over the whole thing. Okay, let's go back to the crimson red again. Just softly go over. Vermilion. Pumpkin orange. Let's come down here again, just to make sure that's fully blended out. And then our final colour, marmalade. There. I think that's looking really good. Okay, so let's do the other side. Crimson red. We'll put the crimson red here. Crimson red here. There we are. Vermilion. Let's finish off the vermilions. I'm not confusing myself and you. There we are. Vermilion. And keep going. Vermilion again. Right, pumpkin orange. Go over the whole thing. Pumpkin orange. And put pumpkin orange here. Okay. Then marmalade. Okay, let's go in and deepen our colours back up. Vermilion. No, crimson red. Now vermilion. Oh. Excuse me. Okay, pumpkin orange. Pumpkin orange here. And a bit in there. And then our final colour, marmalade. Okay, there's our leaf done. Oh, feather done, sorry, even. All right, looking good, I think. Now, let's do those circles that I'm going to treat as the berries. And I'm just going to sharpen up the pencils. What did we use for the berries? We used crimson red and vermilion. Okay, so same as we did before. And then fill that in. And then we'll go back at the end with some wine red just at the base. Okay, let's take a little bit of the wine red. Excuse me. I just want to deepen that edge there. There we are. Yep. And then there is a couple, can you see? There is two bigger ones here that I'm going to do. Oh, sorry about that, that's my phone telling me my battery's low. So I'm going to do this quickly before my phone dies on me. And can you see? Yeah. I'm doing a little bit of vermilion. Okay, that's us. Wrong way again. Okay. There we are. Okay, I'm going to go off and charge my phone before it dies. And then I'm going to come back. We're going to put the detail in the flowers and the feather. And then, yes, Lucy is going to do a background. I'll see you in a little while. Okay, guys, so I'm back. The page is complete. However, if you'd watched my first video where I talked to you about all the completed pages that I've done so far, you'll know that doing backgrounds is a real fear of mine, and I get really anxious over it in case I ruin the picture. Now, I can't use my beloved Neo 2s in this book because for some reason, I don't know if anybody else has found it, that water mediums on here tend to make the ink smudge. So the next safest option for me is to use Derwent pastel pencils. So I'm going to be using this set, the 72, and I've chosen to do it that way because the design is really intricate and I don't want to get any discoloration on the image that we've already done. So I've chosen two colours, and they are the palest colours I can find because I want the image to stay in the forefront. So I've chosen Vanilla, which is a really pale yellow, and then I've chosen Pale Spectrum Blue. And what I thought I would do was go from blue around the outside and then bring it into yellow in the centre. So it should just be really subtle, but it will be there, and I'm doing a background. So let's bring you in and let's get started. Okay. Right, I'm going to start at the top so that my hand doesn't smudge all the pastels as we go. So where should we start? Here, I think. And what I'm going to try and do is keep the circular design, and I'm just going really lightly. And then I'm going to use a paper tortillon to smudge that colour in. So where did I put that now? Cover it up somehow. Oh, give me one sec. Okay guys, I was happily chattering away to you, and my phone stopped recording for some reason. So what I was saying was that I'm going to fade into the yellow in the centre because there's more of the blue here, and I'm just going to try and keep it circular. So I'm just using really, really light pressure to fill in the spaces that I want blue, and then getting my paper tortillon, just working it into the page. So you really don't need that much. There we are. Now what I think I might do is do some yellow more in the centre, so that I can make sure that I keep a kind of circular shape. So I'm going to kind of, can you see? Yeah, I'm going to kind of etch it out where I want that circular yellow to go. And then I'm just going to, same as we did with the blue, I'm just going to fill that in, just lightly. Can you see all that? Let's get the paper tortillon. I don't chuck it across the room. And just checking you could see. It's really pale, so I'm hoping that you can pick up on this. And then just blend it in. You see? Are you picking that colour up? And it is really pale, so I'm just going to give it a little bit more. And deepen that colour up a little bit. I don't want it too dark. A little bit more around here maybe. There we are. And then again work that in. And blend the edges out so there's no harsh line there. So ready for it to meet the blue. Can you see everything I'm doing? Yeah. Okay. So then if I bring the blue back in, I might have to bring you in out a little bit, sorry, for a minute. There. And then continue with the blue from where I was. And down to meet that yellow. And then work that in. I'll bring you up. Hopefully you can pick up on that colour. It is very subtle and my lighting here is awful. But there is colour. Okay guys, so I'm going to finish that off and I will come back to you when the page is complete. See you in a second. Okay, so I'm back. I'm just going to finish blending this little bit in with you. I will need to fix it. Now, the only other thing that I wanted to do was just to add some details into the flowers because they got lost as I coloured over them. So I'm going to use a Posca and it is called, if I can read it, Straw Yellow. So I'm going to bring you in. And I'm literally just going to dot. I can stop shaking for 2 minutes. Dot some colour into each of the petals. Can you see, or is my great big thumb in the way? I do find these, I shake quite a lot and I do find it quite difficult to, control. But the good thing about Posca is just, see, I can't. Okay. There we go. I'll keep going. And we'll finish together. Can you see? Put you back in the centre. Now this 30 odd minutes clip that you're seeing has taken me hours. Not just the colouring, but the editing. Oh my goodness, what a nightmare. But I've got there. And if you're seeing this now, it means that I've put it out and we've completed it together. If I can stop shaking for 2 minutes would be good. Right, where's the last petal. The last one is here. There. Okay, so zoom back out. That's in. There we are. So Lucy's first Colour With Me video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and you'll stick with me for another one. It's taken me an awful lot of planning and preparation, so I hope I'll be a bit quicker in future. Now I know kind of what I'm at. And I'm proud that I managed to do a background, so yay. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch up with you next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.